Hello, everybody. Oh, I should do the theme song first. Trevor talks it through. Trevor talks it through. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Trevor talks it through. Welcome to episode number 26. Episode number 26 of Trevor Talks It Through. Had a bit of a break. Between episode 25 and 26. About 2 years, actually. Most of that time I was busy retooling the show. I was bringing in all sorts of experts, like from Hollywood and from Bollywood and from Dollywood, to try to kind of spice up the show so I could appeal to a broader demographic market, more people. It was really expensive. And then, so here we are. We're back. The real reason I've been gone for so long is that I got a little busy. Went back to school, university, and I got went and got a degree in teaching degree. So now I can teach people things, whatever I know, and that doesn't take long because it's like, hey, how you doing? Here's what I know. Yeah, okay, thanks. Okay, I guess we're done here. Yeah. So I got that teaching degree, and then I didn't have enough. I was back at school and went, I need more. So then I went and I got. I'm currently doing a master's of education in humor and education. Believe it or not, I'm studying humor, and that's pretty good. It's pretty fun so far. But now I finally have a little bit of time again, so I've figure I'll start up the old podcast. That's what this is, podcast, once again. And also, I'm now doing a video podcast. It's the video right there. I can poke you. I'm poking the video people. If you're listening the podcast, you can't see the video stuff, which is good because I've got a bit of a scab on my chin right there, and it's not appealing. I mean, I waited 2 years to do this to get the podcast back up, and I had video. I'm doing a 3D effect right now. If the people are watching the video, and then I got that little thing on my cheek. So I think I'm just going to kind of look pensive and put my finger on it or my fist on it and just do that. I think that's better. You may have noticed I changed the theme song, and that's not going to be the permanent theme song. I was listening to the podcast before I put it back up again, and the old theme song, I thought it was wearing a little thin, and so I think I'm just going to play something different every single podcast, because keep it fresh. Have a different theme song every time, because that's good marketing. It's good marketing to have a different song every time you do a show, so that people never can associate a song with your. See, that's terrible marketing. So so what I've been up to. So I'm doing that whole education thing. It's been super great. I'm getting a lot smarter. I probably look smarter if you're looking at me on the YouTube podcast. So I'm getting a lot smarter, and I think that's good. What else have I done in the last 2 years? 2 years. I saw a Bryan Adams concert recently. That was pretty. Yeah, that was pretty something. And no, I'm not. Bryan Adams is one of those guys. I think most people have a strong opinion. A lot of people really like Bryan Adams, and a lot of people really the opposite of that, not liking it. So they dislike or hate, loathe. I'm in between. I mean, I really like Summer of '69. That's a great song. I like some of his songs. I think he got a little kind of wussy later on, and I don't mean that in a bad way. It made him a lot of money, but hey. So anyway, a friend of mine got free tickets to the Bryan Adams concert, so I went to because it was free. And I thought, oh, this is great. It's free. And he was, if I was a big Bryan Adams fan, that would have been a great, great concert because he went on for 2.5 hours nonstop, song after song, super good, working hard. But for me, 2.5 hours is just, it was just a lot of Bryan Adams. Because all of his show and all of his songs, I never really noticed to have them all jammed in together. They're all just very straightforward. Like, I've never seen a less ironic show. There's never that look in the audience going, hey, I'm this old guy doing rock and roll and doing these rock and roll moves and it's kind of silly. No, none of that. He's just, I'm out here doing my thing. And his songs are the same way. They're like straight ahead. You know, if he goes, yeah, baby, I love you. It's like, what's he trying to say there? I think he's trying to say that he loves her. Like he has that song, have you ever really ever loved a woman? It's like, well, what is he trying to say there? I think he's trying to ask the question of, have you ever really ever loved a woman? That's all he's trying to do. And then, like, he has so little statement that he had to repeat all those words just so that it would fit the music. So, but man, he can write hits. He's not, you know why he can write a hit? Because he's not afraid of repetition. He will just say the same word, usually love or baby, hundreds and hundreds of times until his bank account explodes. So that was good. Kind of strange that I talk about that after 2 years, but it's kind of more recent. I mean, there's lots of other stuff, but it was kind of in the past, and memory is not one of my strong points. I like to get into something with, at least into a song. I like to sing a song. I like songs. So one thing that's been going on in the Arrogant Worm world is every now and then we have this wonderful, oh, look at that. Like, that's how, you can't tell on the podcast if you're listening, but if you're looking at the video cast here, I pick up a piece of paper and it's right, like now it's completely blocking the screen. I mean, that's really, it just, those consultants helped me out, not at all. I mean, I shouldn't be, okay. Anyway, so Mike Ford, you may have heard of Mike Ford. He used to be in a group called Moxie Fruvis, who've been on hiatus for more than 2 years. I think they've been on hiatus now for, I don't know, 68 years or something like that. But they're still officially on hiatus. Anyway, every now and then he fills in for one of us worms when we can't make it. And he was filling in for Chris. And so I was talking to him, well, not talking, I was emailing him about, the show coming up and what he might, if he had any questions. And he came back with his email to me, which I haven't asked for permission to read, but he sent it to me, so it's mine. I had a dream a while back. It seems I was being hired to be part of a worm's theme park. Looked similar to Wonderland or one of those Six Flags spots. I was to be busker guy who stands near the funnel cakes area and sings from the worm's cannon. There was a sizable crowd waiting, and before I began, I was handed a set list sheet of 15 or so songs, most of which I recognized, but began to panic when I realized I had no idea how to play the following worm classics on the list. Old People Can Do Lots of Work, Stupid Song, and the last one, Why Can't You Be More Like Snorri, the Icelandic explorer baby. There were a few more I didn't recognize, but I couldn't remember them post-stream. But for the time being, if you can send lyrics and chords to those three, I'll get right back to work. Best, 40. That's what he sometimes calls himself, 40, instead of Mike Ford. So what I did is, of course, I got that email, and I emailed him back 45 minutes later with those three songs written, because I think I was supposed to be doing schoolwork. Anyway, I want to play one of them today. I don't know if I'll play the others, but if there's a great demand after I play this one, I might play the other ones from Mike Ford's dreams that now exist. So this one is called Why Can't You Be More Like Snorri, the Icelandic explorer baby. This was a bit of a challenge, this one. This was a high level of difficulty, but I think I pulled it off. When we first went out, I knew she had a history. A love of hers had vanished, whose end was a mystery. But when I thought I had her heart, she started to ignore me. I asked her why, and she said, "You just ain't no Snorri." Why can't you be more like Snorri, the Icelandic explorer, baby? He was just an infant, but he still drove me crazy. He was cute and had big cheeks you just could not ignore, and scale the volcanoes and ski down the fjords. Why can't you be more like Snorri, the Icelandic explorer, baby? Well, first I said I'm a full-grown man, and he's a little prick. And I was born in Milton instead of Reykjavik. She spat in my face, then glared disgustedly. He's 10 times the man you are, and he's just a baby. Why can't you be more like Snorri, the Icelandic explorer, baby? Sure, he was just an infant, but he still drove me crazy. He was cute and had big cheeks you just could not ignore, and scale the volcanoes and ski down the fjords. Why can't you be more like Snorri, the Icelandic explorer, baby? Yeah! That is when she left me to find her long-lost lover. She set off to the land of ice and fire, wearing a snuggly made of blubber. And I'm alone again, hating that cursed infant. But I'd have to admit, if I could trade, I'd be him in an instant. Why can't you be more like Snorri, the Icelandic explorer, baby? Sure, he was just an infant, but he still drove me crazy. He was cute and had big cheeks you just could not ignore, and scaled the volcanoes and skied down the fjords. Why can't you be more like Snorri, the Icelandic explorer, baby? Have you ever really, truly loved a woman? It's kind of like that, isn't it? So that was that song, Why Can't You Be More Like Snorri, the Icelandic explorer, baby? And I really should have figured out a tune or something before I started singing that for you. But it's free. You can turn this off anytime. Oh yeah, I just made a really embarrassing face there. See, that's another thing. I'm not used to this thing being on. You didn't see it back at the listening on your headphones or whatever, but anyone watching it just saw me do like a... Oh, there, I did it again, and you still can't see it. It's very embarrassing. I wonder if I do that when I'm playing guitar in public. Anyway, yeah, so hopefully I'll get this podcast back on every 2 weeks. Every 2 weeks, that's my goal. I'll probably get busy again in the fall doing, educational things again, but hopefully it won't be too much. I've actually reactivated my Twitter as well. And what else? Oh, I put out an album with my group, The Line of Credit. And yeah, so that hopefully we've sold 2 copies already. 2 copies. It's amazing. We don't even have an album cover for it yet. What else have I done? Yeah, so that's about it for now. Because the YouTube, I think, only lets you do 15 minutes, and I'm at 13, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50. So anyway, you can email me at trevstrong@gmail.com, because I usually answer questions. But of course I don't have any questions now because I've just started this up. So if you have any questions for me to answer, send them to me, and I'll try to answer them. And I think that's about it. Should I don't even remember how I played Trevor. Oh, maybe I could do Bryan Adams, I think. Trevor talks it through, yeah. Talks it through. Trevor talks it through, yeah. Talks it through, yeah. Talks it through, yeah. Talks it through. I love you. Okay. So, hopefully this will take off again, and I will see... Well, I won't see... I always say that. I'll see you soon, but it's ridiculous. I'm not going to see you. Unless, maybe you'd walk on the street or something like that, and I'd see you, but I wouldn't probably know. Okay. 2 weeks. Let's try another one in 2 weeks. Bye. Here, I'll wave. Even I'm waving for the people listening on the podcast.